Hey everyone, how is it going? YikeZ here, and we are back in our Arena of Valor video. Today's video is gonna be on Zip, and we are going to do a spotlight for him. So first, we're gonna talk about his skills, and then we're gonna move on to builds, counters, and how you should be playing him. So let's begin. Zip's passive. Zip's bloat. While bloated, Zip gains 30% damage immunity and deals 120 magic damage to nearby enemies every second. This damage increases by 10 every level and is doubled against minions and monsters. Zip's first skill, Zip Hex. Zip unleashes a curse that deals 350 magic damage to the target and stuns them for 0.5 seconds. If you target one single enemy, you will reduce their movement speed by 90% for 1.5 seconds. If the curse finds another target, it will link the two targets together, and the original target will take 75 magic damage per second up to 4 seconds. If the cursed targets are still linked, 60% of the damage taken by one target will be transferred to the other. The link breaks when the targets move further away from each other and both targets are stunned for 0.5 seconds. While the curse is active, Zip's normal attack on the affected targets will deal additional 200 magical damage. Zip's second ability, Zip Angry. Zip opens its mouth for 1 second, then swallows nearby allies and monsters into its stomach over the next 4 seconds. Affected allies gain a shield with 400 points and 30% damage immunity. Zip restores 200 HP for each swallowed unit. While it's active, 40% of the damage taken by Zip becomes a shield for all friendly heroes inside Zip's stomach once they are released. Also, Zip is invisible while swallowing targets, meaning that he cannot be stunned by any ability. You could also interrupt your second ability and a large portion of your cooldown will be returned. Zip's ultimate, Zip Roll. Zip rolls into a target's direction and increases its movement speed for 6 seconds. While rolling, Zip becomes invincible and deals 450 magic damage to enemies along the path and knocks them flying for 1 second. Enemies at the end of the path are slowed by 50% for 3 seconds. If Zip rolls over train boundaries, then it bounces and its movement speed is increased. Use this ability again to interrupt it and the cooldown will be returned based on the unused time. Alright guys, so for the runes right here for Zip, we're gonna be going Veta for our first rune page. So Veta I think is pretty strong on him due to the fact that he always has to kind of engage and go in. So having this protection shield where he's gonna be able to get out of stuns is gonna be pretty good for him. And then for the bottom, we're gonna get the speed up river because he's all about movement speed. And I'm gonna get the healing for him because of his second skill where he's gonna get healed if he actually eats people. And for the second page, we're just gonna go like the default support runes for Zip. So basically whenever he stuns or attacks someone, he's basically gonna do some magic burn damage to them. So right here for my preferred support item, I kind of want to just go Ring of Defiant. I think it's pretty important on him just because of the cooldown and the movement speed that he gets whenever he uses it. We're gonna go Hermes Boots because the movement speed, but you guys can change it up depending on your matchup to Gilded Greaves or the Armor Boots, but I prefer Hermes right now. And then for your third item, you could go the Aegis just because that you get that slow, you get that armor and HP, which is going to help you a lot with the cooldown. Then I'm going to go Medallion of Troy because of the cooldown and magic defense. And then the Mail of Pain just because of the health and the armor. And Blade of Eternity just because we're going to be fighting a lot, so we're going to be resurrected if we die. And then for the Arcana, as you guys can see right here, I'm going to be using the default Arcana for the tank, so Indomitable. So it's going to give you guys a lot of tankiness. And the Benevolence, so you get more HP, more movement speed. And Valiance for the cooldown speed and HP, which is pretty nice for all the supports. Alright guys, so as far as the talents go for Zip, you should be using Sprint, Flicker, or the Healing. Sprint just because you could take the buffs and run away. And it's pretty good. He's kind of really movement speed based character, so you really need that to kind of escape and take the buffs and run away. And the healing is pretty good if you guys are in team fights and everything. And Flicker is good as well. You could take the buffs and basically flicker over walls, making it harder for the junglers and be more not. There's a tip for you guys. If you guys didn't know, you could go sit in the bush, and once your recall is about 50%, you could swallow a buff and recall it back to the fountain. Right now it's in a trial mode, so I can't go back to the fountain, but if you guys do it in a real match, you're gonna be able to go into the fountain and you could just keep swallowing the buff back into your base, which is pretty insane. Also, as I mentioned before, if you guys didn't know, if you have 2 targets into the same location and you could use your first skill, and once you guys chain them, they're gonna take 60% damage shared, so you guys could be attacking to 2-3 opponents at the same time and doing massive damage to them. You could use this to help your jungle to clear, and you could also use that to do more damage to enemies when they're linked. But yeah, you guys can swallow buffs as well and then use your ultimate to just basically go away. You could use your support item, your talents or whatever, and try to just keep the items back. And as you guys can see, I'm taking this monster and I'm just bringing him to the fountain just by using my skills. And that's why having low cooldown items on this character is pretty huge. Anyways guys, that's basically it, everything about Zip that I know. I'm gonna have more advanced guide or combo or video coming out for you guys later on, but this is everything about him. He's gonna be released in a few hours, so make sure you guys go and check him out. He's one of the most broken characters, and if you guys are diamond and above, you should probably just ban this character so you don't have to get annoyed by him. There's not really much counters to him other than like Baldim or Aram. Those are the pretty good counters that I found out, but you guys let me know in the comments down below what you think counters him and if he should be nerfed. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will catch you guys the next time. Peace out.